All right, welcome to episode 52 of the Ridiculously Lame Wrestling Show. We're going to be going over Full Gear today and doing some predictions for that pay-per-view that's coming up this Saturday from the Prudential Center in New Jersey. And we're going to be talking about CM Punk once again taking a shot at AEW with Peter Rosenberg saying that he wasted some matches in AEW. Go over what he meant by that and if I agree with him. But let's start with the Full Gear predictions. That's the big event this Saturday. Sure as hell doesn't feel like it, doesn't it? It just does not feel like a big event is heading this way this weekend. It does not feel like there's buzz or energy or momentum or anything surrounding AEW. And, you know, people want to blame the fans. No, it's the Tony Khan, the man with the pencil, the man booking the show, appears to be booking it for an audience of one, just himself, and is alienating even the most diehard AEW fans. I said this last night in my Dynamite review. I understand me not liking the product. I'm a CM Punk guy, and I enjoy his style of wrestling. I enjoy the WWE product more now. That it is what it is. But I still am holding out hope that AEW can somehow. No, they're never going to get that energy back in that 2021 buzz, but just recover a bit to be a watchable product again. They're not there at all right now. They're not watchable unless you already love it heading in. If you're like the biggest wrestling fan in the world, you can find some enjoyment of AEW. If you're a casual fan tuning in, you're not sticking around. You're not watching the full episode of Dynamite. You tune in and see Tomohiro Ishii following Jericho around for 5 minutes backstage comically. Are you going to tune in next week to see them have a match? I don't think so. But let's go over Full Gear and predict the show and discuss how they could have booked it differently, or just who knows what I'm going to get into with this discussion. Who knows where it's going to go. But let's start off with Big Boom AJ with Big Justice. So Big Justice is the kid. Yesterday I thought it was Big Justice was the adult man taking his kids to Costco and making them all, eat junk food all day. I thought that was Big Justice. No, he's Big Boom AJ. Pardon me. His kid is Big Justice, and the Rizzler is the other kid who will be on the ring bell, the timekeepers area during this match. The excitement is off the charts. But this is on the kickoff show. It doesn't really matter. Trying to get audience from TikTok. I don't understand. I mean, what's the crossover for people watching kids eat Costco food in AEW? I don't know. What's the crossover? But I get it. Any promotion is good promotion. So they're just trying to get some eyes on the product, get a few more people to buy the pay-per-view. I don't think it's going to work. I think it's going to be one of the worst. I can't wait to see what the buy rates are for this pay-per-view as a whole. But I think Big Boom AJ is going to get the win over QT Marshall, because why the hell wouldn't he? I can't imagine QT Marshall getting this win, but that's... Who gives a shit about that match? MJF versus Roderick Strong. Now we're going to get into the main card. MJF finally brought some intrigue to this match this past Wednesday night on Dynamite, referencing Roderick Strong's mother shooting his father when he was 11 years old. I had no idea about that fact. I loved it. I loved that MJF took a personal shot at Strong, threw that out there, because that's the classic MJF. That's the MJF that we all love. The ridiculous heel to his core MJF that we went away from for a year with the Adam Cole and MJF going to the Kowloon in Saugus, Massachusetts and eating chicken wings. That was an actual segment that aired on AEW Dynamite. But this match, MJF versus Roderick Strong, MJF should win. MJF needs to win. I don't know. Why would Roderick Strong win this match? Unless they're trying to make Roderick Strong into something that he's not, which is a top of the card single star. He's not. He is not that guy. Neither is Ricochet. Neither is Speedball Bailey. Neither is 95% of the roster. So, Roderick Strong is the mid-card title holder. He's the workman, the guy that will give you a good 20-minute match in the middle of the pay-per-view that everybody loves, and everybody say, that guy's a great wrestler. That's Roderick Strong. But when he cuts a promo, you realize he's not a big star. You need to, if you give him a manager maybe, but he's not a promo guy. He's an in-ring work guy. That's what he is. There's no reason for Roderick Strong to win this match, unless Adam Cole interferes, because he's not even on the pay-per-view now. But I'm picking MJF because the MJF is the biggest star of the company. This build has sucked. He hasn't been in attendance for any of the shows. He's been filming Happy Gilmore 2, so he filmed 14 videos in 10 minutes, and they showed him throughout the weeks, like he was watching along live. It was lame, but MJF gets the win. Jay White versus Hangman Adam Page. They faced at Wrestle Dream. Jay White got the win. I didn't like the match initially. I didn't like the match. I like both stars, but I didn't like the Tony Khan booking the match because they cancel each other out. Like, if Jay White defeats Hangman Page takes a step back. If Hangman Page defeats Jay White takes a step back. So Jay White won at Wrestle Dream. They're going to do the rematch. Hangman Page is probably going to win. We're right back to where we started. What was accomplished if Hangman Page wins? And maybe if Jay White gets another win over Hangman Page, we can elevate Jay White into the AEW Championship title picture. Maybe he's going to be the guy that take down Jon Moxley. I don't think that's where we're going. So I think we're going to get Hangman Page winning here, which again is 50-50 booking. And then we're going to say, hey, we're tied 1-1. Let's do the rubber match at World's End, which again, it's a good storyline, but neither of these guys are becoming bigger stars right now. Hangman Page and Jay White. They may be in your eyes if you're already into the product, but I'm talking about they're not attracting viewers. This feud isn't going viral. People aren't talking about Hangman Page versus Jay White. They're not. They just aren't. And these guys are terrific talents, but Hangman Page is just going to get the win because Jay White won at Wrestle Dream. That's my prediction, and they want to do a third match at World's End in December. Private Party will be defending their AEW Tag Team Championships against the Outrunners, Kings of the Black Throne, Malachi Black, and Brody King, and the Acclaimed. I'm going to eliminate the Acclaimed immediately. I do not want to see the Acclaimed win the AEW Tag Team Championships, maybe ever again, but at least not right now. Private Party just won the titles from the Young Bucks a few weeks ago. The Young Bucks are on hiatus. They're not on this show either. Kenny Omega's not on the show. He's going to be wrestling in New Japan. The Young Bucks are taking a break. The company's going swirling around the toilet. Let's go. Let's take a leave of absence here and let's go work for other companies. Kenny Omega, great job. But I think that Private Party should retain. Why? The Kings of the Black Throne, Malachi Black and Brody King, sure, they probably should win just based on star power in this match. The Outrunners, people love. I wouldn't mind seeing the Outrunners win. I wouldn't mind seeing anybody win this match besides the Acclaimed. I am so sick of the Acclaimed in championship pictures, whether it's the AEW Tag Titles, the Trios Championships, if those still exist. I don't even know who is the Trios Champions right now. Maybe it's the Bang Bang Gang still. I have no idea. They're not being defended on this show. But I'm going with Private Party to retain. And I would, again, if Private Party doesn't retain, give the titles to the Outrunners over the Kings of the Black Throne. Because, again, Black and Brody King should be single stars. To me, Brody King is excellent, and they just, like Lance Archer, he's just cast in this big guy role that loses matches. But I'm going Private Party here. Mercedes Moné versus Kris Statlander for the AEW TBS Championship. Just terrible build for this match. Just horrific. Just how we got here. Stokely Hathaway just disappearing from Kris Statlander's presentation. She's now a babyface all of a sudden. No explanation. Mercedes Moné, just a negative draw. Just an absolute zero since she's came. I can't believe how her run has gone in AEW. I thought this was going to be a big deal for this company. It should have been. She's a big star. Her gimmick, the CEO thing isn't working. Nothing's working with Mercedes Moné. She debuted as a babyface. They turned her heel, and both times nobody cared. The only time people in AEW cared about Mercedes Moné was like the first couple weeks she was there, and then everybody was like, all right, this is boring. And she's got her own personal writer. What are they writing? For what she's putting on television, for what she's delivered, her having her own personal writer is stupid. But I'm guessing Moné's going to win this match. I could care less if Kris Statlander wins this match, and I'm a big fan of Kris Statlander. I just don't care because we just watched Mercedes Moné's TBS Championship reign, and it accomplished nothing. Jade Cargill held that title for years, and she just was running in place for years and then leaves the company. So I don't really care about the TBS Championship. It has no prestige for me at all. So I'll go with Moné to retain because why not? Swerve Strickland versus Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley must win this match. I'll be just flabbergasted. I'm already flabbergasted, even though I enjoyed seeing Cheeseburger on AEW Dynamite. I'm already flabbergasted that they had Bobby Lashley wrestle on Dynamite 3 days before the pay-per-view. I can't believe that decision. It's wild to see Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley's going to have a match against Swerve Strickland in his debut in AEW. Scratch that. Let's have him face Joe Keys and Cheeseburger on Dynamite. Ridiculous. But all that was done so Swerve Strickland could hide under the ring and attack Lashley. He could have just attacked him backstage or attacked him in the parking lot. I'm going with Bobby Lashley to win this match because should be his debut match in AEW, but it's his second match in AEW now, and he can't lose. Unless they did that to get so Tony could book Swerve Strickland to win, and Bobby Lashley not to lose his debut match in AEW. If that's the reason they had Lashley win that handicap match on Dynamite, that'd be insane. I think that's a reach by me. I think it's just idiotic booking by Tony Khan as usual. But Bobby Lashley's winning this match. Jack Perry will be defending his TNT championship against Daniel Garcia. Jack Perry was shown kidnapped on this past Wednesday's episode of Dynamite by Daniel Garcia and Matt Menard, who was simultaneously on commentary at the time. So it's just a magic man, Matt Menard there. But they just left Jack Perry tied up in a warehouse after breaking a headlight on the scapegoat bus. That's that build. Jack Perry, I'm assuming off camera, escaped on his own. He chewed through the ropes with his teeth and crawled out of the building and rebuilt his scapegoat bus, and he'll make it to the I was gonna say premium live event, make it to the pay-per-view in time. But yeah, look, Jack Perry is an AEW original or whatever. He's a tiny man, but he's talented. And kind of the same for Daniel Garcia. Neither of these guys can cut a promo, so you're just dead in the water there with this rivalry. Garcia is particularly bad at promos. They just re-signed Daniel Garcia. The scapegoat thing is played out. I might as well put. I don't know where if Kill Switch or Luchasaurus is even can return. He had pneumonia or whatever, but put Perry back with him or something after this. But I'm going to go with Daniel Garcia as the new TNT champion. He just signed a new lucrative deal for the company. He'll have that title for, like a year or so, and just wrestling mid-card matches, and that's what I see for the future of Daniel Garcia. Jack Perry, the heat's gone. Everything's gone with Jack Perry. The scapegoat thing is over to me. It's stupid at this point. All in 2023 was over a year ago. Let's move on. And let's move on to the next match, too. Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher. This has been my favorite build, my favorite storyline of this pay-per-view. I'm looking forward to this match the most by far. It's not even close. This is the match that if we were still doing the, dollar value on each matches, I would put $25 on Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher and then like $1 on everything else. And I'd be coming under on $50 of the asking price. I would not would not tally up to $50. If I were to do the dollar value on this, it would be $25 for Fletcher and Ospreay because it's by far the best storyline in the company to me. By far going to be the best match of the night, without question to me. And I think Will Ospreay's the type of guy it seems like he would be willing to put Fletcher over. And I think it would really help Fletcher if he won this match. And I'm assuming Don Callis' family will get involved. I'm going to pick Fletcher with an upset. They need to make new stars. They can't just give him the big win. I really like Fletcher. The hair shaving thing was weird as hell. He looks weird, but I guess it's better as a heel. But I think he should win this match because Will Ospreay is the future of the company to me, and he can take a loss and help build someone up along the way, and then next year vie for the title. Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy will be the main event for the AEW World Championship, which we have not seen since Jon Moxley won. I'm assuming it's in Marina Shafir's briefcase. But this storyline, the Death Riders, and just the lameness of it. Jon Moxley's crew, they attack Brandon Cutler, J.D. Drake, Chuck Taylor as ways to get under Orange Cassidy's skin or whatever, and Orange Cassidy defiantly last night on Dynamite, how the show ended, he got the shit kicked out of him by the Death Riders and then put his hands in his pockets after and put his glasses on and looked at Jon Moxley, said, you can't break me or whatever. This storyline has broken me and my faith in this company, because this is the biggest storyline they have. And this is another hostile takeover storyline. The Elite One failed miserably with Tony Khan getting the Meltzer driver and the neck brace in the NFL draft. And then right back to normal a couple weeks later, nothing happened. That was that storyline. Garbage. This storyline, to me, is even worse than the Elite One, the Elite Takeover. This storyline is Jon Moxley watching a couple movies here and thinking he has something great, and nobody backstage being like, you got a fraction of an idea here. We got to fill in about 800 blanks to make this a comprehensive storyline that people will be interested in, John. Abandon all hope doesn't get me to buy the pay-per-view. That just saying stupid lines, we're on the battlefield, we got to find our soldiers. Just shut the fuck up and tell me what you're trying to accomplish, Jon Moxley. Just a wasted storyline. Hopefully we get something that reveal what's in the briefcase. Shane McMahon shows up at Full Gear. I am desperate at this point for something to just, even if it's something as shitty as Shane McMahon. Why the hell not get that buzz? Because they need everything. They need big justice. Is there a Walmart guy on TikTok or a guy that goes to BJ's Wholesale Club and tries all the free samples? Is there a guy on TikTok there that has a couple 100,000 followers? Get him on the show. Get the guy that sing wrestling themes on the show. But just get everybody you can get on from TikTok on the show. Every stupid celebrity you want on the show to try to make it better. But Jon Moxley's winning this match. They're not giving the title to Orange Cassidy. There needs to be some kind of epic angle after this match. If it just ends with Jon Moxley winning and revealing like a newly designed title and posing with the Death Riders, that's awful. Just terrible. That would be awful. Jon Moxley needs to win, and someone needs to show up after that gets people talking, or something needs to happen after this match to explain what Jon Moxley and the Death Riders are trying to accomplish. What is their ultimate goal? Because if I don't know that, I don't know how I'm supposed to be invested in this storyline. And I can't believe it's just essentially Jon Moxley just wants to destroy AEW originals or people he doesn't like their attitude. That's not a hostile takeover to me. That's just lame. It's a heel faction. The seizing the TBS Superstation was just Moxley cutting a promo and attacking JD Drake. Like, this has been a total failure. And in order for it to somehow, like, make it work a little bit, something huge needs to happen at Full Gear after this match. And I really hope they have something great planned. But Jon Moxley's winning. They're not taking the title off of Moxley in his first title defense. But that is it for the AEW Full Gear 2024 predictions. Now we're going to talk about CM Punk's comments with Peter Rosenberg. They did an interview recently, and Punk said he wasted some matches in AEW. Let's listen to that real quick.
Was there someone you didn't get to tell a story with that you would have liked to have told the story?
No.
You feel like you hit the ones that you wanted to hit?
I feel like I wasted some matches on some people for sure. But that is what it is. Like, some people understand the business, some people don't. And I think everybody here understands the business.
Now, Punk, he is his own guy. He will piss people off. He's going to say what he feels. And sometimes I wish he wouldn't say it and move on as well. But I will say that quickly after Punk's debut in AEW, I started to feel like, what are they doing with him? Like, it was like he was like a nostalgia act, just wrestling weekly or every 2 weeks, but he was having these 15-minute matches with like Lee Moriarty, and that accomplished nothing for Lee Moriarty. I think he's in ROH now. That didn't accomplish anything for Lee Moriarty, but it was a 10-minute match. But here is the moment. They had a match with Matt Sydal that went 15 minutes on Rampage. But on the following Dynamite, or 2 weeks later, on the October 27th, 2021 episode of Dynamite, this is when I started to question what the hell was going on here. Bobby Fish faced CM Punk in a singles match on this episode of Dynamite. Bobby Fish, who's in his 40s as well. CM Punk says, I want to face the young guys. Why is he facing Bobby Fish on this Dynamite? And then Punk hits a GTS here, and Bobby Fish kicks out at 3.1. Right after the referee's hand hit the mat for the third time, Bobby Fish kicks out as a sign of disrespect. Bobby Fish is a role player. Bobby Fish is, the Jack Perry of Jurassic Express. He's that's what he's a role player. He was not the front man of Undisputed Era. Undisputed Era. That was Adam Cole. Bobby Fish is not in the company anymore. Bobby Fish is not in any major company anymore, I don't think. Last time I saw Bobby Fish was boxing somewhere. Like, maybe he's back in the wrestling business but the gall of him to kick out of the GTS after, I don't care what backstage issues he had with CM Punk or whatever, the gall of him to do that on national television, and then to just like that, there was no repercussions of that. And then it went on and on here. After that match, he faced Eddie Kingston at Full Gear, an 11-minute match. That was a great match. His match against Bobby Fish was longer. His match against Matt Sydal was longer than his match against Eddie Kingston at Full Gear. And that match against Eddie Kingston at Full Gear was badass because they just hated each other. I remember there were Punk or Eddie Kingston running at Punk in the parking lot. That was a great rivalry at Full Gear 2021. Then on the November 24th episode of Dynamite in 2021, he faced QT Marshall in a match that went 11 minutes. How long do you think it's going to take Big Boom AJ, whatever the fuck that guy's name is, the Costco guy. How long do you think it's going to take Big Boom AJ to beat QT Marshall in the kickoff show of Full Gear this year? Do you think it's going to take longer than 11 minutes? Why is it CM Punk and QT Marshall having an 11-minute match? He faced Max Caster, Penta. That was a good match. Dustin Rhodes was a memorable match. John Silver of the Dark Order. He had all these random singles matches with guys that were never going to become stars. He only had 33 matches in AEW, and like 18 of them were waste. So he has a right to feel that way. I just hate this is going to go on for years. This is going to be a documentary about AEW. Unless they just unbelievably turn everything around, I think everybody knows where this is heading, right? I'm just holding out hope that it changes, but I think everybody knows where this is going. You don't just magically revive everything. But CM Punk just throwing dirt on the grave here. Again, in a perfect world for me as a wrestling fan, it's Cody Rhodes, I think, was always destined to go back to WWE. He's a total WWE star. But CM Punk, when he was bought in AEW, when he was invested, they had a chance to do something great, and that would have been like my dream as a wrestling fan. Like CM Punk as a spearhead of this alternative promotion against WWE and Triple H would have been epic. But now we're just sitting here with Orange Cassidy and John Moxley. It's a bummer. But CM Punk was right. He did waste several matches in AEW. It's just some of these matches, the lengths of them are ridiculous. Just the Bobby Fish one, why he needed a 13 minutes to defeat Bobby Fish, and the Matt Sydal one for 15 minutes. They're friends, and they just wanted to have a good match. But Bobby Fish, that's when I knew something was wrong, and that was his 5th match in AEW. So there was already like bullshit going on just like a couple months after he debuted against Darby Allin. So that's crazy to me. And he has a right to feel that way. And this is never going to die. They're just going to keep taking shots at each other. And it sucks, but that's what it's going to be. I wish it ended differently in AEW as well. But they have to figure out a way to recover. And they can't address this shit. They just got to stop taking shots at CM Punk, responding to his shots. Once they aired that footage after he went on Ariel Helwani, they lost a lot of goodwill with people. Once the Young Bucks aired that footage of the Jack Perry skirmish, and it was exactly what Punk said on the MMA Hour with Helwani, they lost a lot of goodwill. And Punk, he played this right. He always says he's going to come out on the right side of history. He did on this one. There's no question. So just in terms of public opinion, money, everything, Punk's won in this AEW dispute, the end of it. It just sucks for wrestling fans who wanted 2 great promotions, because you got one with WWE, and if you're not a WWE fan, I understand, but I think the product's really great right now. And then you got AEW, which is just cannot find its way back to being average. So it's just disappointing. But that is it for episode 52 of the Ridiculously Lame Wrestling Show. If you have not subscribed, please do so, and thank you for watching.